Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. This is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And what a workhorse is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, who led his team in rushing and receiving yardage in 2018 and was also the team's leading scorer. How about this? Set an NFL record for catches for a running back with 107. So for an encore, he just wants to get his team back to the playoffs in 2019.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So here are the Cardinals now under first-year head coach Cliff Kingsbury. They'll be led out by Kyler Murray, the #1 overall pick in April's draft, and also the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over. maybe even starting with this game.
Murray going to throw. This one caught by Isabella. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. On second down now, it's Johnson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that is incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Let's go. And the Panthers coming out now. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw, Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Throwing again on second down. Newton, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll make it 3rd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him, and frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They must have. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football, and at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Newton now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. McCaffrey on the counter. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. Spins by. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Newton now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
We know that Gano has that big leg. He had the longest made field goal in the NFL last year, 63 yards to beat the Giants in Week 4. That was the longest game winner in NFL history, and he converts from long here again. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the ground, this is Johnson. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 31, Murray. Man open left side, it's Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 14. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep is DJ Chark. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald.
We got this.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Able to find Isabella. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down. Murray now. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line. So don't say nothing.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And his throw here's incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 yards there and a first down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson. As the first half is winding down, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the defense obviously expecting run as well as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Newton on third down. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Flipping left side, and he's got a man. That's Edwards. The gain of 39 that time. The previous play, big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. K1 short. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On second down, here's Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. To throw is Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Smith catches left side. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. That kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Oh, what a move. Oh, and now some space to operate. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. What we saw there, that's what we know that he can do. He can break tackles and turn them into big runs, and that's what he did.
And what is the buzz phrase nowadays in football for a guy like that? Contact balance. The ability to go through trash, come out the other side, avoid and run.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jonnu Smith, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run with McCaffrey, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They go with the option on 4th down, left side. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, a defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Murray now on 1st down. He's got Smith here. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The young buck finding the veteran there. There is 14 years separating Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. Murray turning 22 back on August 7th, and on August 31st, Larry Fitzgerald turned 36. But these two guys like each other, and it shows on the field. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. And that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can...
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Newton and Olsen here with a connection. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He'll look to throw. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cam trying to rally his guys to the line as quick as he can. Back to throw. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Back to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Newton to throw. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. From the red zone now, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Cards, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.